Hello, 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 and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon, here on SQUIDcraft, Liara's patron server. So in the last episode, we did a bunch of upgrades to our caves, including putting in these two tanks behind me. And although we have a lot more axolotls now in our tank, I brought a couple more because I wanted more, we still do not have a glow squid. So I've got a couple things here to go and try and capture one for us. This can't possibly go wrong. So the reason we are going to at least try to capture one is, yep, it's right here. This is the drop chute for our entryway into the lower hub. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to try and get a glow squid up there. I think maybe we can put it into a minecart. And we're going to shove it down that hole. I see no way that this can possibly go wrong. Other than, of course, I forgot the rails in the minecart. Alright, so we have come over here to the axolotl breeding area, where we are going to try and find a glow squid. I know I've seen some over here before. Going to try to not fill every single one of these buckets with axolotls by the time we find one. But you never know. See? Glowing. Hopefully we can actually get one and not have it get eaten by axolotls. There's that little gold one. Ah, there we go. Glow squid. Should be able to leash you. Okay. Let's tow this thing back to base. Hopefully it does not drown. You can probably guess by the lack of squid and the fact that we're not in my base and the lead that's floating there, that the squid drowned. I really wish squid would not drown in the top block of water, and that leads would stop putting them there. Seems like any animal that you put on a lead will automatically float. It's kind of weird. Alright, we got another pair of them. Let's try this again. This time, let's try really hard not to let the squid be at the surface for a very, very long time. Alright, so we have the squid as close as we can get to our base. Hi, phantoms! So, let's try and drop it in. Got to climb this waterfall with the squid. We gotta do this quickly, or else this thing will drown. Come on. Oh no. Let's get this thing back on a leash and see if we can't get it up this waterfall. Hopefully it should be able to. And, yep, there we go. Okay, now we just got this nice big patch here to this next patch of water. Hi, phantoms. And, oops, got this hill. Oops. Okay, there we go. We're almost there. Once we get it into this minecart, we should be good. Oh. Come on. Into the minecart, into the minecart, into the minecart. Go, 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 go. No! Ah. Really? The drop chute is too small. You drop a minecart in a 1x1 hole. Can you seriously not? Really? We have to specifically align it? Guess we go after glow squid number 7. Alright, hopefully this works. Squid is on the tracks. Minecart is down. Squid is in the minecart. Come on. Yes! Mission accomplished. We have captured a squid, everyone. It only took 7 tries, but we now have our very own pet glow squid in a minecart. But now that we've moved that out of the drop chute, let's get some air and name tag this thing, because that took way too long. So let's get him named. Take a look. Oh, it's going to be really nice once he's actually free swimming in here. I think we might need to get a few more. I don't know. It depends on how much I feel like leashing squid across the ocean. Since I don't think that they are going to spawn in here, we might have too many axolotls for that. But now that that is in, I'm probably going to make a glow squid spawning area somewhere closer than that reef. Let's get into what we're actually going to be working on today. So a while ago, I decided I wanted a new little cave in here. And so I've made this. Just a little green little cave, fully lit up. Got start of a custom tree, got a little dais here. What I think I want to do is coming off of all three of these, I'm going to put in a deep slate path, and each of these corners is going to be a different season. So once this tree is fully built, each quarter of it is going to be as if it's in a different season. So I'm going to get those paths built up. I need to seal off some of these extra caves that we are not going to use at all. And I'll be back once you're ready to start work on one of those quadrants. All right, so the tree has been shifted over a little bit. Still not quite sure that this is centered. I guess it's fine. So what we're going to do is each quadrant is going to be a different season. I think this one is going to be spring. So we are going to cover our branches here with some flowering azalea leaves. Since this quadrant is supposed to be for spring, we might as well have flowers on the trees. And I think we will probably put a few on the ground as well. I haven't quite decided which types, probably whichever ones we have just sitting around, but it should look nice. And I think that's a little far over. I want to have the middle lines of the path be the dividing lines between the seasons. So let's knock out everything on here. And that line and over will be for the next season. So with the tree here decorated, I just need to add a few flowers around down here. I grab some flowering azaleas to put down here as well. I'm quite sure. They would definitely add a bit of diversity to the shapes down here. And the flowers on them would match nicely with the flowers on the tree. So let's see, let's add a color that's not white, blue, or purple. And I really don't have many other flowers other than this. I didn't really grow that many. And I think that's probably a good balance here. Actually, yeah, there you go. A couple more oxeye daisies. Just do the trick. So now, I think we're going to do clockwise. So moving on to this quadrant, we have the summer section. So we're just going to do regular azalea leaves that don't have any flowers for that. And that's mostly just to keep the leaf texture here consistent. And also because I like the azalea leaves. I'm really glad that they added the flowered ones, because otherwise I would have had to use wool for the spring. And I think the flowering leaves look a lot better than wool would. Here we go, we've got just about this entire area here leafed, and I think that that looks pretty good. Add a couple more down here at the bottom. I don't quite know what I want for ground level. I think maybe some regular azaleas. I will figure something out eventually. But while we figure out what we're going to do for summers, we need to get falls in here. Now this one's going to be a little trickier because we don't have any good leaves for fall. Because I want to do the colors. And the only way for me to really do that is to get some wool. And I think what we're going to do is once we get the wool, we'll put a little bit of carpet on the ground. So let's see, I think we're going to need a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow, probably a little bit of orange as well. I actually have to go run the flower farm for a little bit. So I'm going to be honest, I don't really care for using wool as leaves. I just don't feel like it looks really good, especially next to other leaves. Hello, creeper. I really don't need you down here. I mean, I suppose this wouldn't look too bad as if instead of the azalea leaves here, I used wool. And that way the wool would be balanced. But, man, I don't know. I just don't really care for the use of wool as leaves on trees. Maybe it's just my desire to have things actually look natural. And wool doesn't really look like any sort of leaves. I mean, I'm disappointed that it's the only really colorful block I can use on here, but it is what it is. We will get through it. That actually needs to be a leaf. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, you can't actually pick block azalea leaves, which seems a little weird to me. but we're going to try and go for kind of like a fiery texture. This isn't going to be all that accurate for actual fall leaves, but usually you only get one color on a tree, but you also don't usually get a tree in all 4 seasons at once. Hopefully this will look okay, and there we go. I think that is good for the fall leaf section. Now that is also going to be it for the tree, more or less. I need to figure out where the leaves are going to come across on here, because technically up to this line are the flowering. Yeah, that's going to be hard to figure out, but we will. Or maybe not. I don't have that many flowering leaves left. And it'll be really difficult to figure out where the leaves should go on the winter section, especially since we're not going to have any. So it will be mostly built based off of the spring section. But for now, just need to get this section here done up. And what I'm thinking is put a couple pumpkins around. I think a few locations here we will have some fully grown wheat, and we'll just put little bits of carpet around like fallen leaves. I think that should do well for fall. Now for winter, we have quite a bit of issue because for one thing I want to put snow down here, and that's not going to go well with lighting. So we're going to have to get some sea pickles and hide them under leaves. I believe that's the way we can get snow down here and still have this be spawn-proof. And I need to do some stuff up in the ceiling to make it so that we actually get snow particles falling down. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good. I think we may need another pumpkin right around here. I think that the carpet looks pretty good, actually, as fallen leaves. I also realized we need another wool block up there. But I think the tree looks okay. Again, I'm not happy with the wool, but there's not really any way for me to get around that and still get the effect that I want. Now, I did, after looking through my boxes, figure out what I wanted to do for the summer floor decoration, and that is going to be a field of sunflowers. So if I remember correctly, these come into bloom in late summer, so they would be the perfect addition for this side. So now that those 2 sides here are done, we now need to figure out taking care of this section here. So the main thing that we're going to do is 4 sea pickles and a leaf block everywhere where we currently have a torch. And I am going to need to probably check light levels down here just to make sure that this is still in fact spawn proof. And then once all of those are in, we can put in the snow layers. Alright, so given that none of our snow here has started to melt, I think that we are going to be okay. So how we are going to be doing the snow particles is we're going to be coming up here into the roof. And all along here, we are going to be putting leaf blocks. And on top of those, we are going to have snow layers. We'll just have a couple layers on each leaf. And nothing should be able to spawn here if I put 2 layers of snow. And because nothing should be able to spawn on leaves. And if I am right, this should do the trick. See little bits of snow particles falling through already. So I don't want to get too close to those torches, otherwise stuff will start to melt. But in theory, we should start to see some particles fall through, even at this stage. There probably aren't that many right now, and we'll see more of them as more leaves get covered in snow. Alright, so I'm seeing a fair number of snow particles drifting down through the leaves there. So hopefully, if I've done this correctly... There we go. Not going to be all that common, but I saw one just there. There's another one. I have little bits of snow floating down. And I think that'll just really add to the atmosphere in here. Alright, and with all of those leaves covered, you can see that we have quite a few snow particles drifting down now. I think it's a good look. And with that, this room here is complete. And barring a few small details, so is my cave. Which means this is probably going to be our last episode from SQUIDcraft this season. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.